So the Kushanas, the stupa was almost 700 feet tall, which is as much as a 60-floor building. It was covered with jewels. This huge structure was one of the wonders of the ancient world. After the Kushanas, we had the Guptas. After the Kushanas, the Guptas ruled over most of North India. Sri Gupta was the first king of the Gupta dynasty. Chandragupta I was the first famous king of the dynasty. He used the title Maharaj Adhiraj. The blue part in this map shows the kingdom of Chandragupta I. Means this much part he had covered or he had ruled when he started ruling the place. The next king of the Guptas was Samudragupta. The brown area, the brown part which you can see in the map was added by Samudragupta. The green area shows the parts added by Chandragupta II. So this is all the Gupta dynasty. So the Guptas had a huge empire and Samudragupta did most of the expansion. Now see students, there is a difference between a kingdom and an empire. A kingdom is a small, you can say, ruling area or territory, whereas empire is an expanded version of kingdom. Empire has many kingdoms in it. So this is what Gupta dynasty ruled, the blue part, brown part and the green part. He inscribed a lot of stories on pillars of how he captured various kingdoms. He also minted coins which give us more information about him. Samudragupta was a lover of music and poetry. After Samudragupta, Chandragupta II came to the throne. He was also known as Vikramaditya. He defeated the Shakas, so he was also known as Shakari. The iron pillar at Delhi was erected during the rule of Chandragupta II. This was done more than 1600 years ago and it has not rusted. See how a good quality of iron was used at that time that it has not rusted till date. There is an inscription on it in Sanskrit which states that it was erected in honor of Lord Vishnu. There are also praises about Chandragupta II. Means on that pillar, they have inscribed good things about Chandragupta. The iron pillar is all that remains of that construction. Qutbuddin Aibak destroyed everything else to build the Qutub Minar. When Qutbuddin Aibak came into rule in that place, he destroyed everything which was built by Chandragupta to build Qutub Minar. After the Gupta dynasty, we had Vardhans. After the Gupta empire fell, means when that Gupta dynasty collapsed, North India was split into many kingdoms. Once it was the entire empire of Guptas, but once it fell down, it started to break down into many small kingdoms as they begin. This was when Prabhakar Vardhan established his own dynasty. After his death and his eldest son's death, Harshavardhan became king at the age of 16. The Vardhans, Harshavardhan was a very good ruler and a good conqueror. He supported all religions, Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism. He was also very interested in art, literature and education. So these were all the different kings from the northern part of the country. Now moving towards the ancient kingdoms of south, we have Satavahanas. Satavahanas were kings under the Mauryan kings. After Ashoka, the Mauryan empire became weak. That is when the Satavahanas declared themselves to be the separate kingdom of their own. The Satavahanas had captured most of South India. The capital of their kingdom was at Paitan in Maharashtra. Can you imagine how this empires and kingdom might have been ruled at that time? Because the southern part, which we consider now, is what all Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and all that part. But of this dynasty, of this empire, the capital was Paitan, which is in Maharashtra, which is almost the Maharashtra comes in the middle part of our central India. So you can just imagine that how vast the empire was. The Satavahanas were good rulers. As they were lovers of architecture, they built a lot of caves in their time. The Karla caves near Lonavala and Kanheri caves near Borivali were built in this time. Literature developed well in Satavahana time. The language of Maharashtra started at this time. It was called Maharashtri. The language Maharashtri slowly changed into Marathi over the years. After Satavahanas, we have Vaktas. Vaktas started ruling the Satavahana kings when they became weak. They were in power in south the same time that the Guptas were in power in the north. Vindhyashakti was the first Vakta king. The Vaktas, the Ajanta caves were excavated during their reign. They were good kings and administered their kingdom well. They encouraged development of literature. After the Vatkas, we have Chalukyas. Chalukyas were another strong power in southern India. Pulakesi too is the most well-known king of the Chalukyas. The Chalukya king built a lot of temples. The Chalukya kings encouraged a lot of development in literature. There was also a lot of development in poetry during the time. The last Chalukya king was overthrown by the Rashtrakutas. After Chalukyas, we have Palvas. The Palvas were another important power in South India. The Palvas ruled about 600 years in Telugu and Tamil regions. The most famous Palva king was Narasimhavarma. They were good kings who tolerated all religions and ruled well. The famous temples of Mahabalipuram were built by them. The Palvas had a powerful and well-equipped navy. They traded well too. The Palvas ruled around the same time as the Chalukyas and Cholas. They were finally defeated by the Chola kings. So this was all about the kingdoms which we studied in the north and the south. So what pattern do you see as you studied all the kingdoms?
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.